Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Bhagavad Krishna Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Deva, and all glories to Sambuddha Vaishnavi devotees. Hare Krishna. We thank you all for being here today. Hare Krishna, Salika Prabhu Nitya, KISHORE DEVI ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Are we starting now?
Yes. So
Okay.
today we have Her Grace Nitya KISHORE DEVI who will be speaking to us.
Okay.
We are very grateful to have your association once again, Mata.
I'm so sorry because sometimes I'm so crazy. And then you still continue giving me chance because you're so kind.
No, Krishna knows best. It's a service. So thank you. So we may put the verse on the screen and then you take it over from here.
Sure. Thank you. Haribol. Jai
Hare.
Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narotamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayam Udirayet. Lendo Srimad Bhagavatam 2.752. Estou honrada pelo convite. I am honored by the invitation. Thank you so much. I am in Brazil. I'm sorry, I was speaking Portuguese.
That's good.
This is Srimad Bhagavatam 2.752. Sorry. Okay. Yata haro bhagavati nrinam bhaktir bhavishyati sarvatmani akiladhare iti sankalpa varnaya. Synonymous. Yata, as much as, haro, unto the personality of Godhead, bhagavati, unto the Lord, nrinam, for human beings, bhakti, devotional service, bhavishyati, become enlightened, sarva atmani, the absolute whole, akila adare, unto the summum bono, iti, thus, sankalpya, by determination, varnaya, describe. Translation. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please describe the science of Godhead with determination and in a manner by which it will be quite possible for the human being to develop transcendental devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Hari, the super soul of every living being and the summum bonum source of all energies. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam is the philosophy of devotional service and the scientific presentation of man's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prior to the age of Kali, there was no need for such a book of knowledge to know the Lord and His energies. But with the beginning of the age of Kali, a human society gradually became influenced by four sinful principles, namely legitimate connection with women, intoxication, gambling, and unnecessary killing of animals. Because of these basic sinful acts, man gradually became forgetful of his eternal relation with God. Therefore, man became blind, so to speak, to his ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is not to pass a life of irresponsibility like the animals and indulge in a polished way in the four animal principles, namely eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. For such a blind human society in the darkness of ignorance, Srimad Bhagavatam is the torchlight to see things in proper perspective. Therefore, it was necessary to describe the science of God from the very beginning, or from the very birth of the phenomenal world. As we have already explained, Srimad Bhagavatam is so scientifically presented that any sincere student of this great science will be able to understand the science of God simply by reading it with attention or simply by regularly hearing it from the bona fide speaker. Everyone is hankering after happiness in life, but in this age, the members of human society, blind as they are, do not have the proper vision that the personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all happiness, because he is the ultimate source of everything. Jamadi Asya Jataha. Happiness is complete. Perfection without hindrance can be achieved only by our devotional relationship with him. And it is only by his association that we can get free from the distressful material existence. Even those who are after the enjoyment of this material world can also take shelter of the great science of Srimad Bhagavatam, and they will be successful at the end. Narada is therefore requested or ordered by his spiritual master to present the science with determination and in good plan. Narada was never advised to preach the principles of Bhagavatam to earn a livelihood. He was ordered by his spiritual master to take the matter very seriously in a missionary spirit. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kantana Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavatara Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Okay, this Srila Prabhupada's purport here is full of very important and deep statements. Okay, so we are going through the purport. Can you please open the purport? Okay, thank you. Okay, just a second. Okay, the ear is good. Down a little bit down. Little bit down. Okay, good. Okay. No. Translation. Yes, thank you. Okay, so according to the purport, this is an instruction to Narada Muni. Okay, the instruction is to describe the science of God with determination in a manner by which it will be quite possible for the human being to develop transcendental devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, the super self, ever living being, and the summum bonum, source of all energies, in a manner which it will be quite possible for the human being. That's a very important point. So this is the reason why when we are giving knowledge, when we are sharing, when we are teaching, we have to pay attention to whom are we talking, towards who is the target, what's the level of knowledge of the audience, or what is the level of understanding of the audience. This is a point here in a manner by which it will be quite possible. For example, in the name, if in the name of preaching the truth or preaching bhakti yoga, or there we are not, how can I say, faking ourselves that we are accessible and everything is easy. It is the preaching is just honey, so we can do whatever. In the name of that, we cannot just speak the right things to the wrong people. And I understand the verse has to do with that. So if you have an audience where people never heard or never read Bhagavad Gita, you cannot just come from the field of Kurukshetra, the battlefield of Kurukshetra, to fully surrender. You cannot go from that beginning to the last chapter and say you just surrender because Krishna will free you from the whole sinful activities. Just a second, man. Do these people believe in the soul? Do these people believe in God? Do these people believe in karma? So if you're not sure about their beliefs, and if their beliefs cannot change like in few minutes or in 1 hour or so how can you guide people that you don't know from the first beginning to full surrender? So many times when I hear this kind of talks, we are going too fast and too urgent directly to the goal of life, and the people are not prepared and they don't respond in a very good way, or very few people respond. So we have to present accordingly to the audience. We have to know what they know, and then start from the very beginning. Okay? Theism, monotheism, karma law, the existence of the soul, and let that get in the person first, okay, before we tell other things, more deep things that they have to do. Okay, so please go down. Srila Prabhupada is here talking about something that I am trying to say in my lectures about the scientific presentation of man's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a very important point because Prabhupada is saying this is a scientific presentation. So many times, actually, the whole Bhagavad and Bhagavad Gita, they are scientific. They are science. They are spiritual science. But when we put our lens of fanaticism and misinterpretation, and then we present things in a non-scientific way, but according to our experience and beliefs, which we confuse people, because then it's not science anymore. So when we give statements, when we conform, when we do Siddhanta, we must understand if this same Siddhanta is presented in many books, or this is just different experience of different people, how that can be presented. So Srila Prabhupada is saying devotional service and Srimad Bhagavatam is the philosophy of devotional service and the scientific presentation of man's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a science, first point. And science, what does it mean science? Means evidence, means experiment. That's science. Okay, not something very subjective. We have to understand, is this subjective or is this objective? They're different. Okay, so then it continue here. Srila Prabhupada is saying, prior to the age of Kali, there was no need for such a book of knowledge, know the Lord and his energies, but with the beginning of age of Kali, human society gradually became influenced by the four sinful principles. You already know about that, but I will repeat. Means that before, just by hearing, they will know, they will learn the philosophy. Okay, but because, so Srila Prabhupada is saying, what does it mean, what he's saying here? But with the beginning of the age of Kali, human society gradually became influenced by the four principles. Means that because they were practicing, they forgot the principles, the capability of hearing properly was finishing. This is what is saying here. Okay. Then he's talking about what are the sinful principles. It said, namely, illegitimate connection with women. It can be misinterpreted. So this is the reason why some devotees, Jayadvaita Swami and others, they are proposing changes to the Srimad Bhagavatam, which Garuda Prabhu from Harvard, another Srila Prabhupada disciple in America, said, don't do changes, but do bottom notes so that can be explained. Okay, so this needs an explanation. What does it mean? Namely, illegitimate connection with women. It's not with women, but with the opposite sex. It's for both, not for one. I want to open here a brackets to say something about that. So sometimes people come with the philosophy that, you know, women should behave in this way, should behave that way, should behave that way. And then because of a woman behavior, that things changed. Actually, it's not. So it's like you are blaming the kid or the child for the mistake of the parents. If that's true, that woman is less intelligent, according to this philosophy, and she is in the lower mode of nature. So how she can be the cause of the problem if she's less intelligent? If she's more sinful and she's more, what's the name, fallen? This is not because of her, but because of man, isn't it? Because of man's behavior. But the point is, what I want to say is, when people say about the Manu Samhita rules or Bhagavatam rules for women, we should ask those people to bring to the present time. Now to the present time should bring the same environment, the same kind of man, the same kind of government, and the same kind of society. If a woman should behave like the Brahman Samhita, the Manu Samhita says, or they should behave like the women won't behave 5,000 years ago, it should be the same environment, not the Kali environment with the government of Kali, with the Kali's man behavior, and then ask women to behave like very humbly, very submissive, very this, very that. This is wrong, dressing this, dressing that, do this, do that. Okay, very good. Where is the environment? Where is the man? Where is the government? Where is the society that women was behaving this way 5,000 years ago or in the Manu Samhita time? That's the question that we should make. Then I want to say something very important connected to the purport. Then there is science. Otherwise, it's no science. It's just fanaticism. It's just nonsense. This is the real science. Women cannot behave the same if there is no protection. If there is no, oh no, there is no protection because women behave like that. Wrong. Otherwise, how she is the lowest one? How she is the stupid one? How she is the lower modes influenced one? So it means what? That she's the boss, that she is the one who commands everything. Wrong. Yes or not? No science. Okay? No science, no common sense, no logic. Should be logic. Illegitimate connection with opposite sex, intoxication, gambling, and unnecessary killing of animals. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada is saying that sinful acts, they influenced people to become disconnected from their spiritual nature. That's very interesting. This is all this that's describing here are the senses, sense gratification, sense the connection of the senses with the objects. And you know, when you noticed, it's very interesting, when you noticed the influence of your senses in your life in a very powerful way, in a very strong way, when you are in parikrama. You do in parikrama, and then in parikrama, we put our senses in distress, because there is no sense gratification in parikrama. Parikrama, you have to walk, so the body has to move, and the body doesn't like to move, just like to lie down. It's this the tendency of the body to lie down. So the body has to move the whole day practically. And then you're hearing. There's a sacrifice of hearing. You don't hear anything else, but Krishna Katha. And then you have to wake up certain time, and you have the whole discipline regulation. So because of that, all the senses, they are in distress. When the senses, they don't have sense gratification and they are in distress, your spiritual connection increases. But then you are with your spiritual connection increased in the right place in the right time. And this is a very nice experience. Okay, so but if you are in the city and the city is full of sense gratification, and you are act like a fanatic, as a monk, in the middle of the city, and then you put yourself in stress. If you are flexible and adapt yourself when you are in university, when you are in a house, or in your work, I'm not telling you about breaking principles. No, I'm telling you about being more cool with your life. Then that will be more balanced. And sometimes per year, or in the festivals, or in parikrama, and then you revive your spiritual activities, and you give a boost in your spiritual activities. But we shouldn't neglect our financial life, because we want to be all the time in a high spiritual consciousness, and then all this is making me very disturbed, blah 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 blah. But then if you just leave everything and go to Vrindavan and go to Mayapur, after 2 years, 1 year that your money finished, you'll be very much disturbed in the holy dham. This is the reality of life. Because as an adult, nobody will give you shelter, nobody will give you food. You have to buy everything. You have to buy your shelter. You have to buy your clothes. You have to buy your food. You have to buy your prasada. Even in Mayapur and Vrindavana, if you don't have money in Mayapur or Vrindavana, they will put you out. They will kick you out of the holy dham, or you can become a beggar, which is very bad. Very bad. You can get sick. So you should understand how to balance our lives. Then we can have a life without guilty. We can have a life peaceful, and we can wait for our best time to practice, to have intense spiritual life. And it comes when we retire, and then you are older, you have your house, you have your retirement, then you can do that. I saw many Prabhupada disciples now, after working the whole life, having their timing, like preaching, traveling, chanting, and go everywhere, and have your life, your financial life in balance. So this is called balance. It's a very, very important thing that a person should do. It should be separated, his sadhana from their financial security and the life plan. Even, I tell you, I live in Mayapur for 15 years. In Mayapur, even if you're foreigner in Mayapur, and you propose to live in the ashrama and do service, they won't allow foreigners to do that. Only Indians can do that, and they have some training, and they have to be approved to do that. So it means that you have to work, and for your work, to work, you have to have a balanced life. Nobody can feel guilty and wanting something else. I'm doing something all the time in life. We have to go slow down. Okay. Srila Prabhupada is saying here that the ultimate goal of life is not to be irresponsible with our spiritual goals, and only be interested in sleeping, eating, mating. It is not saying here that you can't do that if you are doing this, you complete an illusion. No, it's not saying this here. This is our misinterpretation. What is saying here that, look, if you only do that, if you don't know who is the source of everything, if you are living unconsciously, you don't know that you were so, you don't know what's time, you don't know about Sangha, you don't know about Kirtan, you don't do anything, you don't never chant japa, you don't listen to Bhagavatam. If you do that and you live only for your senses, this is animal life. But it doesn't say that you shouldn't do it. It doesn't say, okay, so you think that you're spiritual, so then you don't have to work, and if you do anything, you don't have to act, because if you act, this is very bad, this is mine, this is that, and then you live guilty of everything. That's not correct. It doesn't say this here. This is creating what? It's creating awareness. Don't forget the source of everything. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget that the material body dies. Don't live only for the body. That's called another balance. I don't see the fanaticism here. I see the fanaticism in our misinterpretation. It's what is written here. Yeah? Okay. Srila Prabhupada is saying that we become blind about this sense gratification, and this is ignorance, just thinking that the goal of life is just to become more and more polished, more and more blah blah blah, and don't do anything for the spiritual progress. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada said that the Bhagavatam is the torchlight to see things in a proper perspective. That's amazing. That's Prabhupada's words. Proper perspective. What I'm really doing here. What should be my focus? How should I educate my kids? How can I spend in a better way the money that I'm earning? To whom should I give charity? This is here in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. How to see God everywhere, every day. How to remember God, how to remember Krishna. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Who are the devotees? Who Krishna is? Inside the temple, being a monk, or outside the temple, being a lawyer, a judge, a nurse, a doctor, a professor, wherever is there a judge, it doesn't matter. You are inside the temple being a monk, you are outside working, both of them have to have a proper consciousness. We heard a lot of brahmacharis, they stay in the temple only for the food and because they are lazy. Not because they are in love with Srimad Bhagavatam, not because they are cultivating spiritual understanding. They have to be guided to cultivate spiritual understanding. Monk's life means you are studying. If you don't like to study, what are you doing in the monastery? If you don't like to study, that's a Brahmana. The monastery is for Brahmanas. They love to study. I don't know how, I don't like to read. What are you doing in the monastery? You're just lazy. You're just afraid of life. Life is difficult. Life is hard. You have to submit yourself. You have to work. You have to get, if you're not an entrepreneur, you have to get salary. You have to endeavor. You have to tolerate things. I don't want neither of this, so I'm going to the temple. And in the temple, I just fake that I'm doing something important. Just wasting time. Just wasting time. Then when we see we have a bad result, and then everybody asking, how come that he was in the temple such many years? It doesn't matter, guys, where he was. Outside the temple, inside the temple. What's your motivation? Why are you there? And once you are there, what are you doing there? How can I say, how good are you doing what you are proposed to do? You know what I remember right now? I'm sorry to tell you about myself, but I was in Mayapur as a mother with 3 kids there studying the school. And I didn't have a job there. And what I was doing, I was there. I was doing service with the devotees and I was studying the Shastras as a mother. So now I'm here talking to you guys about the Shastra that I read the whole for 10 years, all different Shastras. So I was a mother inside the house. Please pay attention on this. And actually, I never thought about that. But this is what happened. Meanwhile, one brahmachari maybe in the temple is not doing what he has supposed to do with the right motivation, cultivating the higher principles of devotional service attitude, shastra, statement, siddhanta. That's what he has to do. And if he doesn't do that, he cannot live in the temple. He cannot live in the monastery if he's not a monk. Okay? Otherwise, only frustration. So, therefore, it's necessary to describe the science of God from the very beginning. Yeah, the Vedas, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he is the one who Vedas is appointed to be known, isn't it? That's very beautiful. Can you go down, please? Srila Prabhupada again is saying, this is Bhagavatam scientifically presented. Yes, Bhagavatam is incredibly scientifically presented. I'm not tired to repeat what Satyanandana Swami said, that Bhagavatam is not a book of, what's the name? It's not a book of information, but a book of transformation. Those who read Srimad Bhagavatam from the beginning to the end, they know that till the ninth canto, what happened, the ninth canto, and from the 10th canto onwards, what is happening. And a real change is struck you, the change of your heart and the feelings that you really develop for Krishna when you finish the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when he leaves this world, when he finished his lila. And then if you go to 11th canto, and then Krishna's there talking to Uddhava in the Uddhava Gita and give many lessons. And so your admiration, your faith in Krishna, your admiration for Krishna, your relationship with Krishna, it increases so nicely, so wonderfully. You come to know Krishna, you come to admire Krishna, you come to desire his association, desire his mercy, and remember him. That's Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is so important. No, I don't have time to read. Come on, you don't have time to read, so what are you doing? You make a time, you make your schedule to read. Srila Prabhupada is saying this regularly with attention. You read or hear. He's saying here. So when people are confused, or they having doubts, or they have difficulties, the first question is, are you reading? Are you hearing? Are you doing Shravana? Are you doing Kirtan? If you're talking about the spiritual life, and you are thinking it's not good, you have some difficulties, you increase your Shravana and Kirtan. It's a science, and this is a medicine. When you take the medicine for headache, and then the headache disappear, and you don't know why it disappeared, yes or not, you don't know how. You know why, because you took the medicine. How, you don't know, because it goes through the body. Most of people, they don't know what has happened. They only know that the headache disappeared. So then the same will happen. We don't know what's happening. You only feel that our love for Krishna and understanding increased, and now it's part of our lives. Okay? Blindness, everyone is hankering after happiness in life, but in this age, the members of human society, blind as they are, do not have the proper vision that the personality of God is the reservoir of all happiness, because he is the ultimate source of everything. Between us, Srila Prabhupada said, a devotee should be happy. If devotee is not happy, something's wrong. So again, Srila Prabhupada is saying here, is hankering after happiness in life. But in this age, but they do not have a proper vision that the personality of God is the result of all happiness. So if you're really with Krishna, if you're really a devotee, the question is, why are you not happy? Why? Because it's saying, and is repeated so many times, that the only person happy in this material world is the fool. They don't know anything. So then we have to force ourselves to be always depressed and angry and unhappy, because it will prove that we are not attached to the material world. Everything is going wrong. We are only when we are having happiness, we think we are in Maya. So when we feel that when we are angry or upset or not in good mood, then we are good devotees, because it means that I'm rejecting this material world. God, I'm so sorry, but I'm not sure about this. I think this is a wrong way to live. So when Srila Prabhupada spoke about only the fool is happy here, the others they are not, or Krishna says we could check the context. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this material world is miserable and temporary. Is miserable, isn't it? So is there a contradiction here? Or it is promising happiness after leaving the body, that you should be depressed? It doesn't say, look at that, that's very interesting. The material world is miserable and temporary. It's not saying that you should be miserable in the material world, that you should personally be miserable. It's saying the condition of the material world. And then somebody can ask, how can I be happy in a miserable place? You can be happy by knowing that you are going back to Krishna and you are in a right path to the eternity. Yes or not? That's a point. We are going back. We are progressing. We are in a journey. We are free from meat eating. We are free from alcohol. We are free from drugs. We have good relationships. We have good prasada. We have sangha. We have kirtan. Because of that, we are happy. And here in the Bhagavatam is saying happiness is complete perfection without hindrance, can be achieved only by our devotional relationship with Him. It means here that life happiness is complete when you have a relationship with Krishna. If Krishna is present, then you're happy. And also, look at that. That's more evidence here. There is more evidence here. Only by his association that we can get free of distressful material existence. That's a very interesting sentence. Only by his association that we can get free of distressful material existence. By association of God, we get free of the material existence. Radhanatha Swami, he says a very interesting thing that I found this a very important point. He said that what they're cultivating now, it should be manifest before you die. It's not like that you die and then the change will be like this if it's not there already in your consciousness. What you want to be in the next life should be manifested already in your consciousness, in your desire in this lifetime. Not that after that I will be good, after that next life I'll be compassionate. Start now, do it now. This is what Radhanatha Swami says. Even those who are after the enjoyment of this material world can also take shelter of the great science of Srimad Bhagavatam. Look at that. Look at that. Oh no, you have to renounce, you have to become a monk, come here, otherwise you cannot do anything, blah, blah, blah. No, no. Those who are after enjoyment, Srila Prabhupada is saying, in this material world, they can also take shelter of the great science of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's suppose that a materialistic person is running behind sense gratification or behind material opulence, blah, 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 blah. And he wants to hear Bhagavatam in his house. What's the problem? He wants to read Bhagavatam, he wants to have Bhagavatam, he finds this interesting. When he has time, instead of watching Netflix, he wants to hear Bhagavatam, but he wants his material enjoyment too. And Srila Prabhupada is saying, this is completely good, look, this is good, do it. Why do it? Because it slowly will change his goals, his vision, his understanding of what he's doing. Why? Because it doesn't matter how well succeed and how rich and how beautiful and blah, 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 blah you are, since all of us are dying. And the materialistic person, he knows he's dying, she's dying, they know that. And it is cause of so much fear. So they want to know what will happen to me after death. How can I be more calm knowing that I'm dying? So in this way, they're also interested, and they can start their devotional progress with this. That's what Prabhupada is saying. And they will be successful at the end. Let's suppose, what does it mean, the whole thing here that is saying? Means that you are going after material enjoyment, but at the same time, you hear Bhagavatam, and then when you are fully frustrated and you're going to die, you remember, oh my God, Bhagavatam was correct. Look at this now, my life. So then Prabhupada is saying, it will be successful at the end. Maybe not this lifetime, maybe the next. What's the loss if it is not this lifetime? Maybe take 3 more lives or 5 more lives or 10 more lives. So what's the problem? Yes or not? There is another point here. That Narada is requested or ordered by his spiritual master to present the science with determination and in a good plan. Narada was never advised to preach the principles of Bhagavad to earn a livelihood. He was ordered by his spiritual master to take the matter very seriously in a missionary spirit. That's our order here. So it seems that we have to work and at the same time dedicate part of our life to preach Srimad Bhagavatam, because unless you become a sannyasi and you live by donations, otherwise you can't charge. You cannot live off teaching Bhagavatam. I saw this many times. I think this is a very serious order. So if you cannot maintain yourself and at the same time teaching Bhagavatam, it seems that your priority should maintain yourself first. Okay? So I finished here with the the purport of Srila Prabhupada. And I don't have so much time today. I can go till 1:10 p.m. I am traveling in the south of Brazil, and I'm giving some lectures here in the south, and I'm going back to India, to Mayapur, in the end of the month. So I got very busy. So please, if you have commentaries or questions, it will be a pleasure to answer, to listen to them.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Grace, NITYA Kishore Devi, for dissecting beautifully Srila Prabhupada's purport to the text. If anyone may,
Prabhupada ki jai.
if anyone may have questions, comments, please, you may do that. And like our speaker said, she doesn't have much time to be with us today. So if we can be straight and brief to our questions or comments, that would be beautiful. I was very much happy to hear what Narada Muni was saying to his son, Narada Muni, and what Srila Prabhupada was also saying in that regard, is that Krishna consciousness is scientific, yet he asked Narada Muni to explain it in such a way that it will be acceptable for people to take to it. He should design it in such a way that people will take it. So I heard Srila Prabhupada say one time that he also followed the same way to preach in the West for people to join the movement. So my question is, how do we learn from this in such a way that whoever we are preaching to, we can come to a platform where we come to their level of understanding and give Krishna consciousness to them at that level without watering down the teachings of the teachings. How do we do that? Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Sahadev. It's a very important question. It's a very good point. First of all, I think if you're not prepared to present Krishna consciousness, it's better that you yourself should study it first, properly, nicely, reflecting on it, research different books, make notations. You know, you have for some years, a person has to do that, first of all. This is first point. Second point, you're talking about watering down the knowledge. No, it's not watering down. It's very interesting because Srila Prabhupada is not saying about watering down. He's saying presented in such a way that it will be possible for people to do it. So, guys, it's a very common sense and very logic. Please understand, you're going to this is a philosophy. This is knowledge. There are all kinds of knowledge, all kinds of science, and this is spiritual science with a goal, that love of God is the goal, and this is a spiritual science. Okay, so it means levels of practice, levels of understanding the concepts. For example, like if you talk about the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and what Krishna is doing with the gopis, you know, their relationship, their glances, and their discussion, you know, you have to first read the first 9 cantos. Otherwise, you come to the 10th canto, your understanding when you hear that is very different if you already know the 9 cantos. So when you are talking to people that they even don't know Bhagavad Gita, or if they don't believe in the basic concepts. For example, let's talk about karma law. Okay, karma. That is karma law. But for you to accept karma law, before you have to accept that the soul is eternal, first of all, because karma comes from one life to another. So, two things they have to accept before karma: the soul is eternal, and the soul transmigrate from one body to another. Two first concepts. The third one, karma. And then you have to accept. What do you have to accept? Karmana daiva netrena. That the material world has nature that comes from God, and it's controlling everything. 33 million demigods are ruling the karma law for everyone. 33 million demigods. You have to accept that. So how can you come from this to fully surrender to Krishna so fast? So it is better that somebody slowly understand the spiritual devotional science and concepts before jumping for the full surrender, because it's not natural. They have to ignore so many things to jump to the full surrender. So if you go and then you have an audience and you start to talk about, oh, this is a Sankirtan movement, you have to chant Hare Krishna and surrender to Lord Chaitanya, and the person, or they are crazy, they really, oh, this is the answer, then they accept, and then they are crazy, or they are simply like, what do you mean by that? Why should I? What is this argument? And they just leave. So there is an imbalance when we present, and we are thinking that not talking, look at that, listen to this very carefully. We are thinking that don't talk high devotional truths, siddhantas, or concepts to people that are not prepared to hear means watering down the philosophy. It doesn't make sense. It's not watering down. I had 3 kids, and I was giving nicknames to so many things. Why? They're kids. They like to laugh, sing cartoons. They don't know behind philosophy. So when you're talking about japa, you have to give nicknames and laugh, and take it very easy. So no problem. But then you get a 10 years old girl, boy, or 9 or 6, and they will take the job, and after some years they just like, no, I don't want to know about this anymore. I'm done. Why? Because they didn't understand. It's not watering down. You're talking to somebody, understand their level first. Secondly, don't try to convert, try to give knowledge. And then with the knowledge, they will make decisions. Please, don't try to be better than Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. What did Krishna did to Arjuna? He gave knowledge, information, important understanding, important concepts. And then what happened? Krishna says, please make your decision. That's Krishna. That's how he acts. Is how amazing, how intelligent, how liberal, how wonderful is Krishna. We follow his steps. Yes or not?
Very much, yes.
Very much, yes. Not watering down, it's just respecting people's level of understanding. You can say that. This is not watering down. I'm just saying things according to their understanding.
Well, thank you so much for the answer. If anyone may have something else to share, please, before Grace leaves today.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhuvan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mother NITYA KISHORE. Hare Krishna, Mother.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead.
hear you. Yes, I can hear.
Thank you very much for your lecture. And then thank you for putting putting our mind in a particular aspect that's very essential to our lives. From the last paragraph or the last statement in the purport, we stated that Narada was never advised to preach principle of Bhagavatam to earn a livelihood. I find it very interesting in the sense that generally we think being a devotee, you don't have to work. And many people have renounced their work, even some graduates who left their work for so many years to pursue this mission vigorously like that. But at the end of the day, their life is not balanced, if I have to use your language. So you are telling us that
In the end of the day,
their life is not balanced.
it's not balanced.
Yeah.
our lives or his life or what?
The person's life. What I mean is to balance his spiritual life
And material.
with material. You know, so there's an emphasis that you said one has to work. So, and there's also a portion in the Bhagavad Gita. I think that should be chapter 3, text 14. We stated that yagna is born or sacrifice is born after prescribed duties. So the emphasis is that we should do our prescribed duties. And by performing our prescribed duties, then from the proceeds, we can perform sacrifice. So I just noticed that you place emphasis that one has to work, at least to maintain himself. And I think it's also stated in the Bhagavad Gita that one has to work. And even if you don't work, there's no way you can maintain your physical body. So this aspect, I want you to enunciate a little bit, expatiate a little bit on it before you go. Hare Krishna, Mother.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna, thank you. Mother NITYA KISHORE, if I may try to highlight what he was saying and asking.
No, please,
You
no.
got
I
it?
don't. No, I don't have time. Just
Okay.
give me, please, the question. What's his question?
Yeah, the question is just like Sri Prabhupada said in the last sentence of the paper, that one should work, one should not live off preaching Srimad Bhagavatam. So he wants you to shed a little bit more light as to how one can be a devotee and work at the same time, because in Gita, Krishna himself says that everybody should work.
Everybody should work.
Yes.
Okay. How can you be a devotee and work at the same time?
At the same time.
Okay. This is, first of all, nature. What's your nature? If you have a sincere and honest brahmachari tendency, and then you have to, you are in the temple, and then you are studying all the time, and you are preaching, and you love to do that, you're very happy to do that, you're not by force, you not feel repressed, you very good, you love it. And then you are in the temple, you have to have an authority like a monk, and you are obeying rules, and you're being submissive, and you are reading. If you cannot do that, it's not only sexual life that brings somebody outside the monastery, but also the need of independence. I want to have my own money. I don't want to obey other people. I believe in certain things, and then I want to do certain things. And this is completely fine. This is people's nature. So then what's the third thing that happened? Your past karma will happen. What does it mean? Ambarisha Prabhu, who is building the temple of the Vedic planetary, the TOVP, when he was born, in his house, there were 160 maids. He was born a billionaire. That's Ambarisha. And not everybody has to work 10 hours daily. Some people, they can work less, and they can, if they want, if they should, then they can read and preach, and they can do service, they can balance, if they have their time, because they don't have to work so much for rent, for this or for that, because they have some facility. Not everyone doesn't have facility. Some people, they have facility. And why some people have facility for doing devotional service and serve, and others don't? Because of past life karma. This is the answer. So you look at yourself, and then you see, oh, from past lives, I did something that brought me to poverty in this life, that I have to work 12 hours daily. I have no facility. I had no heritage. I have no house. I have to do this and this and this and this and that. And what Bhagavatam says about that? Tatenu kampam susamikshmano. Those who bear the weight of past lives, they have the rights of liberation. So then what does it mean for you that your life will be hard? You have a little time, and that you have to pray to Krishna to give you mercy. But your first priority, since you are not a monk, is that your financial life should be in balance. That's your priority, first priority. And then you pray to Krishna to help you to have time, to give you strength to even work very hard to have a time for devotional service. And what will happen? Sometimes it is very hard, especially for mothers or father or parents that they have small kids. All kids are small, they need a lot of attention. So maybe in this time of their lives, they cannot chant japa. Maybe during some years when the kids are small and fully dependent, they can't chant japa. So what is lacking in ISKCON? Lacking this kind of talk that people cannot talk about, like you cannot chant japa. But Prabhupada said to the lady in Paris, she said, how can you think about leave your kid? The kid is your deity now. And nobody can understand what he says. What does it mean your kid is your deity? It's your first ultimate priority. If you can understand that, you have balance. Now I cannot do that. The kid won't be for the whole life dependent on you. But some years you have to fully take care of the kid. And then because of your past life situation, if you don't have time, mates, and enough money to change your japa, going to the temple, blah, 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 read and take care of your kid and work, that you have to tolerate and choose your priority. And life will have different phases. And in different phases, you'll be doing different things. And you always has to account with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga's mercy. That they will give, like Prabhupada said, it will be successful in the end. Listen very carefully. Prabhupada is saying that a person which the goal is material enjoyment can include Bhagavatam and it will be successful in the end. Pay attention, please. What to speak about a devotee who is trying to serve Krishna, but to past lives karma, they don't have financial stability. So then they have to work so hard. Then sometimes they cannot what's the name? They cannot fulfill the orders of the spiritual master. Guys, Prabhu's Matajis, listen very carefully. If you listen to Prabhupada without our stupidity and layers of fanaticism, we will find the key. We will. Is that clear?
Thank you so much. Yes. I hope, Madhavan Prabhu, that is satisfying to you.
I'm satisfied. Thank you very much, Mother. Very satisfied.
Thank you so much for the question and the comment. Yes.
We should continue to study, and then everything will be okay. Prabhupada said that will be successful. That's Prabhupada is saying. That's very embarrassing. We don't have to say, neither me, neither Sahadev, because Prabhupada is saying that will be successful in the end. What does it mean? Please, we are so negative. That's our problem. And Prabhupada is so positive. Go there, look. Even, you know why Prabhupada said that? I remember something now. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that Nityananda Prabhu said that Nityananda Prabhu said, if you want material happiness, I will give you material happiness. I will give you everything. You just chant Gauranga. You just chant Gauranga. I will give you everything. I will give you even material happiness. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Jayapataka Maharaj saying these kind of things, you know. So even you can imagine we are not behind that fame and this wealth and so many things, blah, 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 blah. We're not behind that. We're just trying to survive. Oh my God, Krishna is with us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is with us. Nityananda Prabhu is blessing us. Prabhupada is looking for us. No, the men should be more cool down, man. The men should cool down. The Prabhus, they should cool down. Cool.
Hare Krishna.
Anything else?
Yeah. So I guess we bring this to a close. So Nitya Kishore Devi may be able to leave for other engagements. So Mother, like always, we're very much appreciative for being with us and sharing your love and wisdom with us. And on that,
I appreciate your invitation. I appreciate your interest, your questions, because they're so always intelligent. And I really wish to go to tour Africa. Let's see if I can go there. I'm going to Asia in the end of the month. So let's see if in 2024 I can go to Africa.
Haribol. Hare Krishna. Jai. So we're going to humbly request all the devotees to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna mantra to express our appreciation to the revered speaker, Her Grace, Nitya Kishore Devi. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Mancha kalpa tarabhyascha kripasya devyacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. All glories to a grace Nitya Kishore Devi ki jai.
Jai
All glories
Prabhupada.
assembled Vaishnava devotees ki jai.